Awesome. Great to see you guys. Of course, Break Therapy 23 is the name of the channel, and Tommy has already gotten us set up with a proper pin message to like and subscribe. So, thanks for being here, guys. Building up Harry Potter, last part of this series of builds, and this is 75948, the Clock Tower, 922 pieces. 8 minifigures, and Ron was hiding last time. Found him on the floor, of course, because I was rearranging things and dropped Lego, because that's just what you do with Lego. You build, you enjoy, you display, and you drop these sets sometimes, or you drop pieces. So hopefully that won't happen this time in the live stream. But the ultimate goal for this build is to connect this clock tower with everything else in this front area behind me, the astronomy tower and the Whomping Willow and the Great Hall. And you can see there's quite a collection of builds here. These are all retired sets. These are a great idea. I hope Lego brings back, and maybe they sort of have, but not in this price range, because this price range was really good. It was roughly between $55 and $100 sets, and combining them all, you get this huge modular type build, like a very cool looking Hogwarts castle compound, all these put together. And eventually, you could say it's more of a minifigure scale build of the Hogwarts castle, if you're familiar with that one, like the micro scale build over there against the wall. And that's a, what was that? That was a 4,000 piece build. So I think that was 4,000 piece build. So very, very cool build. Probably one of the best micro builds out there. It's still, that one's not retired. That one is worth looking into if you're doing a huge Lego collection. If you are a Lego builder, you've kind of gotten into the hobby. Actually, full steam ahead. Not kind of. You are into Lego building. So, where did I leave off yesterday? This apparently is becoming a fairly fancy bathroom build for where Harry Potter, I forget, interacts in the story. I think Tommy actually, you said what this part of the build was in the storyline. So very cool. Very cool. So let's go. Hey guys, welcome. Tommy's here. Let's see. Welcome everyone. And if you like Lego, if you like talking Lego, thanks for being here. I have no idea what that is, but we'll just keep on going and talk Lego and build. So if you know something about Lego, you have a Lego collection, you are a Lego collector, and you enjoy certain sets, you have favorite sets or whatever that you can add to the chat, please do. And whoops, I pinned a nonsensical comment there. There we go. Okay. Hey, thank you. All right, so let's get this corrected here. All right, so just looking at the chat, making sure everything is Lego related, Lego friendly. Tommy, can you help me out with the mod? Sometimes we get some random commentary. I have no idea what it's related to. So let's keep these Lego related. Okay, building up again, once again, if you're just joining, the Harry Potter Hogwarts Clock Tower, 922 pieces, just short of 1,000. These builds I've been doing for like the last couple weeks, and they are so fun to put together. And roughly, between 400 and just short of 1,000 pieces. They looked really good. They look really good. And as I was saying, if you get into Lego, and you'll notice there are some very appealing builds, sets like the modular sets. These are a more affordable version. At least they were. And now they're retired. But I think, I've been saying this, if you look on Amazon, I think these sets are still pretty affordable. Definitely a lot less expensive than the modular sets. So for 2026, I found this smaller set. This one, actually, I'll show the box first. This 76459, the Harry Potter themed set, Hagrid and Harry's Privet Drive Escape. A very fun build, definitely in the affordable range. The motorcycle and sidecar, and then you get like a sidewalk build that just gives it some extra character within the time period of the Harry Potter. I don't know, what would that say that time period is, 1950s or so? And yeah, here's the build itself. Just a fun looking build with the two minifigures. So let me continue. So I added this 2026 set to kind of stay current with everything else combined here. And thinking on 2026, my goal as a Lego collector has been for a long time, maybe it'll happen this time around, is to get a UCS set. So if you are really into Lego building, you've gotten back into Lego as a grown-up, you'll know there's the Lego advertisement slogan, adults welcome. And so what does that mean? You could go to any Lego store nowadays, you're gonna see, you know, small sets that appeal to kids, right? You know, the battle pack kind of size sets like this, you know, in the $15 to $20 range. Not bad. Something a young person could afford if they save up their money, their allowance, or you know, gift cards or whatever they have. So that works out pretty well for them. And there are a ton of Lego City sets and things like that. Then if you are finding something a little more challenging, these are, you know, these just under 1,000 piece set, 900 piece sets. These are great as you get back into the hobby. And so as I've been building this, actually every time I've done a live stream, I'll talk about this, just how fun it is to continue to build Lego as a grown-up. There's, you know, our channel's called Brick Therapy, so always throw this out there because we always get another cool person to join the chat. Man, I just launched a piece into my lap here. There it is. Why is our channel called Brick Therapy? So, oh, you can't hide here. So here's our logo for our channel. So this is our Brick Therapy logo, and you may see it on the, maybe up here in the top corner. I can't remember where it appears. I know on Shorts, it's like down here, Lego Shorts, or Lego Shorts, YouTube Shorts is like down here. And then sometimes if you catch a live stream, it's up here somewhere. But yeah, this is our logo, Brick Therapy 2-3. I built this as we got back into Lego, or as I got back into Lego with my kids. And the term just stuck. Like, it's so therapeutic. I know other people have definitely used the term as well. Lego therapy for one, another cool channel, I believe. But ours is Brick Therapy because, you know, you're building Lego bricks. All these cool pieces combined to form something like this. And that's the fun part. That's the therapy part. You are, you know, whoops, you're tapping into your, maybe your creative side, maybe your, you know, your interest as you've had as a young person, you know, just wanting to put something together. And puzzles can be therapeutic. Word puzzles can be fun, but, you know, Lego is great. Streamers for Life says Mayo. Psh, hey, Mayo, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here. Awesome. So yeah, thus the name of our channel, talking about how great, you could call it escapism at times, but you know, there's a lot of interaction too. So over the summer, I was live streaming quite often, almost every day like I am now, but almost every day with my younger son, and just having fun building up these large scale sets. You know, this is, I guess, a mid-size set, but you know, the large scale sets, we're talking Lord of the Rings sets, something around over, like, I think the Rivendell set was the biggest set we built so far together. I think that one was that around, you can correct me if I'm wrong, around 7,000 pieces. So that was fun. My son probably did the majority of that build. It's all on video. You can prove it there. So let's see. Hey, the official Prime says, what would you say was the hardest thing to construct? Welcome, the official Prime. The hardest thing, that is a good question. I don't know if there's just one. I would say probably there there have been sets that require a little more. Lego has its kind of marquee, its signature builds, just Lego sets. But then there are Lego Technic sets that are more kind of more pieces like this where you have pin connectors. This is like just a basic example, but you have something a little more of pieces that kind of interlock and intersect with each other. And so I would say I haven't really done a large scale Technic set, but when we were building the bar door, I had to build the bottom level has like a mechanical drawbridge effect that basically if you turn a lever you can open the doors to the entire bar door castle or tower, which looks really cool. So spoiler alert, there is that fact, but I think there's plenty of reviews on it now that probably highlight that feature. I don't know if that's the hardest, but it's definitely one of the more challenging builds, because then those are the type of builds where if you skip a step or something, then you're probably gonna have to deconstruct it, take it apart, and build it again. Let's see what else. So the bar door set, and that was the most recent one in terms of probably high level of challenge. I built a Lego Icons, I want to say, the Formula One Ayrton Senna race car, and that one was challenging in the sense that there were a lot of smaller kind of pieces where you basically build the model of an engine. So good question, the official Prime Soul. Good question. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, as Tommy has said, please click a like for the Brick Therapy logo, the channel, and then subscribe if you'd like to join our channel and join in our chats. Hey, John Powell, and thanks for being here. Thanks for donating your time to the channel and being here. And thanks especially for joining in the chat and asking some fun questions about Lego. Okay, so here we go. We got this effect of a fountain, or I guess a very nice, it may be copper plated or gold plated sink. I don't know, or fountain, I guess. So there we go. They got these two rods, that you can use for lightsabers, but in this case light blue, so it looks like water, and a very cool effect there. Streaming water going into this nice, cool, tranquil looking turquoise colored pool. Very cool part of the build. Mayo says, I'm sorting Lego. Right now it's minifig accessories. Oh, very cool, Mayo. That can definitely be time consuming. I'm at that point now. I need to do that. There are several Lego sets that my kids have built over time, and then they've mixed and matched things. And so as we moved or got things cleaned up a little bit, I put all those pieces into just one drawer here, like this one. I'll show you. This drawer right here. Lots of Lego pieces in that top drawer there that need to be sorted. And in the past, I've done sorting to kind of keep it simple by color and size. So I'll do a plastic Sterilite drawer with like red color, blue color Lego, yellow, white, and green and blue. I kind of combine because I don't have as many of those pieces, gray and black. And then between those colors, I'll separate the pieces into like the pieces that are really small. I won't do it like this, but the pieces are really small like this, then I will separate those into color as well. But like you're doing, I will further separate small pieces that basically include minifigure accessories, such as, wands from Harry Potter, like that. or, you know, more cool objects like swords or something like that. So I need to figure out a system though where, because you still find yourself kind of digging through pieces and it becomes a little bit, it still doesn't help save time. So, but the sorting part can be very break therapy-esque as well, as Mayo's probably finding, especially if you're listening to an awesome live stream or a podcast and, you know, chiming in now and again as you sort your Lego. I'm trying to figure out maybe a possible more organized way. Maybe it just requires another dedicated drawer to certain minifig accessories, accessories that are more, I guess, utilitarian, like radios or phones or game controllers, because some of those come with CMFs, and then maybe more weapons based, like swords or Star Wars laser weapons. I won't say, you know, I won't say more specific terms than that to kind of keep it nice and safe. But okay, yeah, Tommy. So this is Meridal's bathroom. It's looking very shishi, very upscale, you know, very luxurious. So yeah, that's the bath in the prefect bathroom. Harry Potter puts the gold egg under the water to listen to the next clue. Man, I have to do some reading up on this. There's a whole lot of storyline in this build, in this clock tower build. Very cool. And it's good to have you guys fill me in, more resident experts. And placing a brick design sticker, not too interesting, but let's see. The challenge is when these stickers are not fully covering. So this has to go on this curved piece, but you know, something where it's like semi-centered on, it doesn't look completely random and out of place. Actually, that might have worked if I just do like use the camera as a visual aid, but I think I'd rather do it looking. So yeah, that's cool to have the backstory. So Harry Potter looking for a next clue in this part of the build, in the, what was it called? The prefect bathroom. Okay. As Mayo sorts and Tommy and John Powell give me the backstory on the build. That didn't go on so well. I don't know if I want to fix it or not, because then the sticker has a little bit of lip to it that can come off. But if I use the brick separator, maybe this will be easier. So yeah, Lego sorting is definitely on the to-do list in terms of kind of getting things organized again. When my kids were younger, it kind of became like that dad in the original Lego movie where it's like, you know, don't lose anything, don't touch anything. In fact, you know, try and sequester the really important Lego sets. But then, of course, you know, logic, reasoning, and grace kick in. It's like these are meant for the kids to enjoy. So let them build and be imaginative, and so that's cool. But then when they're kind of done with whatever build they're doing, then I gotta the organizer in me wants to make these sets easily accessible again. That's the issue. Mayo says, when I sort Lego, it's either on my live stream or listening to a live stream. Yep, that's the best. That's the best. You kind of take advantage of the time both ways. I like the idea of doing it during a live stream, Mayo. Either you're doing a live stream, you're hosting one yourself, or like in this case, taking part in one. I guess it would be easier, right, if I was sharing the live stream and then you could just talk versus having to type every once in a while. But yeah, I have to get up with the system. I have to get with the system here of getting a better way of sorting Lego, especially when it comes to like a lot of those pieces that are, you can tell they're for particular set. And other than sorting by color and plate size and accessory piece, I haven't really found the best system. Dare the TH. G'day, mate. Psh, hey, Dare, what's going on? Doing well. Thanks for being here. Thanks for saying hello in the chat and joining our live stream. And if you're curious, building up Lego set 75948. the Hogwarts clock tower to eventually become a greater build that actually connects with all those sets right here on the front part of the table. As you'll notice, there's these pin pieces here that will connect into the other buildings and have a pretty good size mega build for this entire set. And I think when I got these sets separately, I knew I was buying into a series because all the box art, this was all kind of like similar. But I don't think I knew that they all connected. And then, yeah, John Powell pointed that out. And I don't know, I think the discovery was recent. So it was cool to have these sets in the backlog and go, oh, there's more to it than just, the one set build, which was fun in itself. But to know that I won't show you what I was doing. That was a bad mistake, trying to connect something upside down. But yeah, when these builds can be made, augmented, increased even more so, super cool, especially for these Harry Potter sets where, if you've built up the Hogwarts castle, you see how big a set would be if that set was not a micro build, but actually a minifigure scale type size set, which some people have customized. Dare says, hello, awesome stuff. That's actually really cool. Awesome. Welcome, Dare. Thanks for being here. So if you're new to the channel, please leave a like. I already got 7 likes. Really appreciate that. And thanks for being here. I call this the Night Owl live stream, depending on what time zone you're in. So for some of you, being across the oceans, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you're into the early morning of the next day. And then for me here being on the West Coast of the United States, it's about 10 p.m. And then for those of you in, more in the Central Time Zone or the Eastern Time Zone, just thanks for being here and enjoying a late night live stream talking Lego, building Lego, and giving me some backstory on this Harry Potter set. And I was sort of talking about earlier 2026 Lego sets. There have been some fairly popular releases that have come out, and they definitely took up a lot of people's attention, especially with how quickly things were bought. Dare says, I'm Australian, so it's 4 p.m. Yahoo on the 22nd. Wow, it's already you're like halfway through the day over there, already on a Thursday. That is so cool. Hope to get down there one day, Dare. Would be so cool. Mayo as well, hailing from Australia, which is so cool. Your streams are perfect for my afternoons. Nice. So I think I've streamed in the afternoon here a few times, and it still probably works out well for you guys, because then it would still be like, I don't know, mid to late morning, I think. So very cool to reach across the world, really, the other hemisphere, and connect with you guys on this live stream, talking about probably one of my favorite pastimes of all, Lego. And just slowly building up this clock tower build. It is, let's see, it's 922 pieces, and I think just like the astronomy tower, it's 6 bags. So that has been kind of a nice build range for me of late, because over the summer we were building, like I said, the Barador set, the Rivendell set. So we're, between 5,000 and 7,000 piece sets. And then I did a couple modulars. Those were great. The Jazz Club was probably one of the funnest builds I've ever put together, especially for a set that I think that was almost about 3,000 pieces. And maybe that's just the way Lego has now figured out how to put their instructions together and kind of the order of how a set should be built. But that set just felt like I was just building easily I don't know, 5 or so smaller builds, and then eventually just combining them together. That was so fun. And then the you could tell the difference because then after that I built the assembly square set, which was probably 5 or 6 years older. That was a maybe like a 2018 modular set, and that was basically 30 bags, and it wasn't numbered that way though. So it was like 6 bags, but within each number, it was like more like 5 or 6 number 6 bags, or 5 or 6 number 5 bags, and so on. So that made it a little bit tedious. And just it wasn't the same experience. The build turned out to be great. I mean, it was a fun build, but yeah, trying to live stream and kind of sort all that, it covered my whole table with one number bag of pieces. So that was a little bit. It took a while, but it was fun. The outcome was fun, of course. If you ever come down to Australia, don't miss Tasmania. I'm not from there, but I have indeed been there, and Tasmania is beautiful. Port Arthur, is that Bacino? Lanston, and beautiful wildlife like wombats. Oh, that's amazing, Dare. That would be cool to see. Oh, very cool. Just looking at your avatar there. Very cool. You got a Lego figure. Love it. So yeah, um, going down to Australia from California to Australia. I'm guessing that's a good almost 20 hour flight. I'm assuming, gosh, what would the route be? I'm guessing it would be from here to Hawaii and then down into the South Pacific and over to Australia. Wow, what a journey that would be. Oh, it'd be an amazing place. I have, well, I live on the west coast of the US. It's nice here. I picture that kind of scenery, but even more, just more spread out, less congested, and just yeah, really nice people. So Janine is back. Hybrid therapy. Have this set. Should I rebuild it? Yes, you should, Janine. In fact, if you have other sets that go with it, you can combine and make a huge section of the Hogwarts Castle compound. So yeah, Janine, awesome. In fact, build it while I'm doing this. I'm just in the bag. Let's see, bag 2 now of this build. So I think bag 1 was this part of the castle tower, which looks to be the side entrance, or at least the side wall of the tower, or the clock tower here. So yeah, maybe do that. I guess it depends on where you have it all waiting, if it's organized in a bag somewhere. Chesson says, please build Godzilla -1. Oh wow, Chesson, welcome. I don't know what that set is. I'll have to look that one up, if that exists indeed. Dare says, I'm from Queensland, Australia, though still cannot deny the sheer beauty of Tassie, which is Tasmania. So very cool. Wombats, Tasmanian devils, and cheetahs, penguins, and Bashino. Need I say more? Oh my gosh, it's exotic, that to say the least. Also, if you need to stay in a hotel in Lanston or Hobart or something, the Big Four is a great place to stay. Man, I'm gonna have to screenshot some of these suggestions there. That is so cool. Janine says, I actually have most of those sets in the background of your stream. Yeah, so I only have, well, not only, I have the Astronomy Tower, and you can probably tell the Whomping Willow. The Great Hall it's 4 sets that combine together, and might as well show it as we're talking about it and talking about the awesome land of Australia. But yeah, here is the idea, Janine, right? And so you probably knew this already. I didn't know this when I got these sets, Janine. So this is so fun to kind of discover these sets. They were in my backlog. But yeah, you can tell there's the clock tower. It connects with Whomping Willow in the middle and the Great Hall. And then eventually the Astronomy Tower is added to this series. So very cool to have that. Let's see. Mayo says, Dare, which state are you in? I'm in South Australia. Janine says, I actually have most of those sets in the background. Yeah, very cool. Dare says, Queensland. Mayo says, I got confused by your standard time while I'm in daylight savings time. So yeah, Australia is a fairly large country, continent. You got a few time zones there. Janine says, I rebuilt the Whomping Willow like a few months back. Yeah, that was the first time I built this, Janine. Very cool build. Had that waiting for a while. And once I got the astronomy tower out, I'm like, I'll stay consistent here and build up some more of these Harry Potter sets, and have obviously found them to be a great theme build. I was saying, you know what, if you were getting back into Lego as a grown-up fan and just enjoying the build, you kind of see really cool design features come together, like this cool prefect bathroom, and then of course the front part looking like a Gothic stone structure. How fun that is. Ideas for modifying this to combine with a castle theme, or even to combine with maybe even a Lord of the Rings theme. A lot of cool potential here. And then you see these cool elements. So I'm going to take this sticker, and this is going to be a stained glass window going on this plastic piece, so I don't want to mess that up. And then it'll go into a window frame, which I should have on the table here. Oh, it's right here. I moved it already. And it'll go in this frame. So let's see how this turns out. And what other point I made was, these are great. These 4 sets work out well if you again, if you get back into Lego. Obviously, I think as a grown-up, the bigger sets are more appealing because you're looking for a more creative challenge, something on a larger scale, like the modular builds, like the Jazz Club that has been just retired. They have a new one, the shopping center. They got the Natural History Museum. They got quite a few. Quite a few of these modular sets, but they're pricey. And so these sets, these Harry Potter sets, to me have the same effect. A little less, or probably like 1/4 of the piece count, but the build to me seems almost the same equivalent in size and everything. And oh, here we go. It's gonna take a little bit of focus here, but yeah, they just seem to be like really a good, more affordable option for before you take the plunge and you spend on a larger set. You commit to a modular set. You are probably gonna want more than one, and so start with the maybe sets like these. That turned out okay. So there's a cool stained glass window. Love the look of this. I was saying this kind of, or it reminds me of the Beauty and the Beast, the start of that movie where it tells the prologue. It tells the story of what happened to the prince as he became the beast. But you even get the little light effect there as it goes through the stained glass window here. But yeah, then work your way up to the modular sets if you do get these Harry Potter sets. Now these are retired, but I think, let me look one up. I keep saying this. Let me double check. I think these sets aren't too bad on the resale market, since they are retired. But you know what? I think if you were curious enough and you wanted to get these 4 sets, let's see how much they are on the resale market, because they're worth looking into. And you want to have especially if you're a Harry Potter fan, if you want to have a cool build that actually creates a larger build and theme, these are perfect. And then of course, yeah, you get this, let's see, you get the effect of a modular, but not having spent as much. Now, if you're in Australia, let's see, you can get the full clock tower set. Oh my goodness. Used, but the seller has a good reputation. Is this right? This says complete with original instructions, no box. Some parts are a little yellowed, including a few minifigure parts, but $35. Or if you're in the US, complete set with figures, extra instructions, no box included, but you get the clock tower set for $40. So wow, there you go. You could, even if you wanted to buy two of these and do a front and back, so this build is fully enclosed. You got a clock tower, you know, on one side and then a complete building on the other. You can modify it a little bit. Wow, that's crazy. So I'm looking, ships to anywhere, minimum quantity, full complete set. Wow, let me look. Now I'm curious. How much is the astronomy tower? Because that was my favorite of these so far. I think actually the Great Hall also very cool. Oh yeah, so new $63, used $44. Oh man, so even better. All right, now the Whomping Willow. That one's a little more of a. It's got a little more of a character, or I don't know how to say it. It's got a little more of a little more character to it, I guess. How much is that one used? Yeah, same thing, roughly about between $40 new and $30 used. So I think a lot of people might have bought up these sets because they were on sale when I bought them new. And now I guess there's quite a few that are up for resale. From Bricklink. Don't go through Amazon, because Amazon kind of, I thought, was okay. They were selling them basically for the price of, you know, what you got these when they're originally out. But now that they're retired, it still seemed like a decent price. But that is pretty cool. Mayo, talking about Australia. Some Australian states are too close to the equator to justify daylight savings. Arizona just chooses not to observe it. Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense for Arizona being between California and like, oh gosh, Colorado, and kind of there's like a 2 hour difference. You know, why be the hour difference? Just stick with one time. People adjust to you. Hey, Tanner. Welcome, welcome. Wyoming doesn't exist, says Dara. That's funny. Honestly, my day has been, well, not the best. Well, here you go, Tanner. We got some brick therapy to talk about. Talking about Lego and all the builds. Janine says, I really enjoy your streams, Brick Therapy. Thank you, Janine. Appreciate you. Appreciate the comment. Tommy says, it's at the end of the day, so it's getting better. Yes, sir. That's right, Tommy. Let's stay optimistic. Dare says, if you ever go to Queensland, Gold Coast is pretty nice. So many familiar names, Dare. That would be amazing. I have to look up. I'd be curious. How much is a round trip ticket? If I took a family of 5 to Australia, how much would a round trip ticket be on Qantas Airlines going to Australia? That would be so fun. What an adventure. I think too, you guys in Australia, do you guys tend to, like, nearby countries? It sounds like a lot of Australians tend to visit Japan, Korea, a lot of the Asian countries. How close is that in terms of flight time? Tanner says yes. Yeah, I guess good look, or I guess look at things that are kind of not good for me. But look at things that are positive. Mayo says, my dad is a country boy. I'm a city boy, and I have no recommendations for anything about tourism. No worries, Mayo. No worries. I think Dare has it covered. I think just going to another country in general. One, obviously, that you could get around easily speaking English would really help. Of course, then you got the nuances of what the different slang and sayings are in Australia compared to the US would be kind of fun to discover. But I think one of the cool parts is having that language in common. Sometimes the joke is, at least between England and the United States, is two countries separated by a common language. There's a little bit of irony in that. So that could be fun thinking about that between American English and Australian English as well. Dare says, when my family was in Tasmania, we were driving through a ton of just farmland. So here we go. Some cool slang. A carpenter is a chippy. Electrical is sparky. That's so cool. And let's see. I don't know. Could I come up with? I like how you guys say good day, and I like how you guys say it's just a friendly language. Like, I don't know if Americans, when you hear Americans say dude, it's not always a friendly tone, and it doesn't always mean a friendly greeting. But Australians, when they say g'day mate, it sounds cool to me. Just sounds like, it's like you could make a lot of friends in Australia. Of course, you got to be aware there's always sarcasm involved, and humor that you may not get. But the the fun part, I met people from Australia traveling through Europe. In fact, that's probably where I've met the most Australians. I haven't really met anyone from Australia in the US, but when I was traveling through countries like Scotland, and or just going on a general tour. My wife and I went on a Kontiki tour when we were younger. And I think that's an Australian company, actually, Kontiki. And they had obviously half the tour were people from Australia, and got to know um, uh, obviously people from Australia. I think New Zealand too. A little bit of a rivalry between those two countries. I think. I don't know how much that plays into things, but yeah, it was fun. And I think the part that made me even more aware of the sport rugby was because of meeting all the Australians who were following very closely the rugby world championship. Um, Tanner says, I'm tired, worn out, and just need a break. All right, Tanner, break out some Lego and build with us, man. Be part of the live stream. Let's talk Lego. Tanner, I think you said, or you were waiting on, or maybe you have, were you getting the any of the new Speed Champion sets? If so, what do you think of those? Or if you plan on getting them, what do you think of those? Dare says, oh yes, many Australians have descendants from Britain due to our history of mostly being convicts. That's true. Hey, Pirate! Psh, Pirate is back. Morning from Atlanta, Georgia. Just wanted to jump on to say hi and good night. I'm off to bed since work is from 2 p.m. till 12:30 a.m. yesterday and have to work again today. Pirate, psh, doing the working man's grind. Thanks for being here, Pirate. Just saying hello. Really appreciate it. Dare, having what a pleasure meeting you here through the live stream. Hope you join us again. Please like and subscribe. Psh, be part of our community and our channel, and giving us a fun backstory on some cool places to visit in Australia. Really appreciate that. Um, Tanner says, not yet, but I now have a bank account. Aha! We're working on getting some savings. That's even more important. Mayo says, my 5 times great grandfather came to Tasmania, then got jailed for stealing a loaf of bread. It's crazy. Yeah, laws going back that far. English law was very punitive, very harsh. I don't know if it helped with cutting down crime, but man, just reading English literature, British literature, you get an idea. 250 years later, I was the first in my bloodline to graduate university. That's pretty cool, Mayo. That's pretty cool. Pirate says you should try to build one of the mega constructs Tesla Cyberpunk truck. Ooh, I'll have to look that up. Mega Constructs, so that's a different brick company. Tesla Cyberpunk truck. Let me look that up, Pirate. What does that even look like? Let's see. Tesla Cyberpunk truck. There it is. Or wait, no, I have to do, that's the real thing. Let's see, Mega Constructs. All right, what does this look like? Oh, okay, yeah. So it looks like the Cybertruck itself. Ooh, that's a pretty pricey set. Pirate, let's see. That is $150 set. That'd be the closest for me to ever getting a Cybertruck. How does the build look? Definitely looks very much like the real thing. So Mega Tesla Constructs. So Pirate, assuming maybe you've had some experience building those type of sets. Very cool. We'll have to look into that at some point. Oh, let's see here. Not yet, but I have a bank account, says Tanner. Oh, wait, so I read that. Tanner says, fun fact, the Nuremberg racetrack turns 100 years old next year. So in 2026 is what it sounds like. Oh, wait, did I read that right? Oh, Nürnbergring. One extra consonant there. So getting a lot of cool facts from Australia or about Australia. And as I place my, I'm glad that actually that goes on the, actually, I don't know. It's kind of a bummer. This is on the bottom floor, but there is the stained glass window all placed. And let's see if I can finish bag 2 here. And not so much a record time, but keeping up with the chat is awesome because I'm seeing some names I haven't seen in a few days. Tanner, Pirate, got to meet Dare. Janine checked in for a little bit. So very cool to have all you guys here and talk Lego and geography as well and culture. Getting some little cultural cues as well. So always enjoy that in the chat. And this Harry Potter set definitely speaks to culture in itself in terms of traveling through England and, you know, seeing these type of historic looking buildings that resemble these builds that are made to be for Hogwarts Castle. And I don't know if anyone, I'm sure people have used these Harry Potter sets as additions or modifications for a castle themed set. One cool channel that kind of shows a lot of that idea of, you know, the larger creative sets or mocks and modifications that people build is the Beyond the Brick channel. That was one channel we discovered as a family, and just amazed at how many or how huge some people turn Lego, or, you know, take thousands and thousands of pieces of Lego and build these huge mocks of pretty much any theme, whether it's Star Wars or a castle set or, yeah, Lord of the Rings set or a historic battle, World War II scene, or like a battle scene from the Napoleonic era, or even more scaled build of the Star Destroyer or Millennium Falcon, or the Hogwarts Castle itself compound. I mean, so many cool things. Let's see. Tanner or Pirate says the Mega Constructs build. Hey, Owen. Owen is here. Welcome back, Owen. Good to see you as well. Pirate says it's worth it. The Mega Constructs build. It's very much fun. It has 3 long boxes. You would enjoy it very much, and it has adjustable suspension, and the doors and part of the roof open, and tailgate and hood. Dang, that's really involved. That's cool, Pirate. So Tesla licensed out their design to Mega Constructs. How fun is that? Never too old for bricks. Psh, he's back. We're connecting all the English-speaking world tonight. We just need Britain Bricks to chime in and say hello. We've got Canada. We've got Australia. Of course, we got the U.S. represented. But we need Britain Bricks. Haven't seen him in a few days on a live stream. Tanner, not doing so great. So Tanner, well, I'm glad you're here to talk and be part of the live stream, Talk Brick Therapy. All right, Pirate. Psh, glad you were here to say hello and gave me another idea for a build. Mayo says, how many Hogwarts sets do you own? This would be pretty much, well, there's the Hogwarts Castle, Mayo. So that one, I show that one over there, the Hogwarts Castle along the wall, or by the wall there. And then these 4 sets, the 759 series, and then a few smaller builds. I don't know if they would connect to these. There's a couple smaller builds that we have, you know, of this time. There's one that I want to say is the hospital wing, but it's not the one that's out right now. But there was another, let me look it up. I thought it was also maybe a smaller version of the hospital wing, but let me see. I can't picture what else it would be. Yeah, okay, so it's retired now, but it's the Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts Hospital wing, but it's set, let's see, what set number is it? It is set 76398. That was a 510 piece set. I think that must have retired maybe 2 years ago or so. I feel like I got it recently, but I don't know why. It's retired, or it seems like it's been retired for a while now, but I'm pretty sure I think I got that recently. So I got a couple sets of that size, about the 200, about 400 to 500 piece size sets. So I guess that's quite a few builds, So yeah, Tanner says, I'm alive. Yes, for sure. That is good, Tanner. That is good. Alive to talk Lego, life in general, and just being on the live stream and not be alone. That's good, man. That's good. So brick therapy, some Lego talk. Lego is a great means of building and escaping and being creative, and I guess kind of letting your thoughts zero in on the present, because you're trying to build something. So that part I like a lot too. And hopefully, you know, the build experience, you know, taps into some other parts, other things that you can focus on. So Never Told for Bricks is here. Never Told for Bricks says, I don't know what to build for the next month. I have the Black Pearl, or a whole bunch of 3-in-1s, or a huge dragon. Never too old. So I like the Black Pearl one. Is that the Lego one? I know you were focusing in on some other brick building brands, Lumi Bricks or Panacea maybe. The Black Pearl I would vote for, but that might be pretty involved. I guess it depends on how much you want to, I'm assuming, do for a live stream. Currently eating Cadbury's white chocolate Oreo bar. Nice, Owen. There you go, Tanner. That's what dude. You gotta have a nice snack like that. Follow Owen's lead. That would be so nice. Have a snack like that. All right, Alexandria. Nice to see you here, Alexandria. Glad to have you here. We got all the mods that keep things going. Never 12 for Bricks, Tommy, and Alexandria. Where's B Bandits these days? I guess maybe I'm live streaming too late. Haven't seen him, although he's changed his name a few times. I forget what it's changed to. Let's see. Never 12 for Lego says, oh, it's not an easy build. 6,000 parts. It's a Mold King one. Okay, yeah, I was wondering if it was Lego or not. So it's Mold King. Does Mold King have just the build, or do they have their own version of minifigures? Alexandria says, keeping hydrated is important. For sure. There we go. Following your idea. Alexandria. Okay, so, and whatever else that involves. Maybe I missed part of the chat there. All right, I'm going to focus in on the build here. So, 2026. This is Never Told for Bricks. This is as much as I have for my collection for 2026. That's the 100 piece or 124 piece Harry Potter, Hagrid and Harry's Escape, which I love them. I love the motorcycle scene. I know they got a little bit bigger build of this, but this one looks cool. And Tanner, I'm hoping to get the Speed Champions build, the DeLorean one, the Back to the Future build. That one was super popular, and I think for a good reason. I think it's just a really good build in general, so that'll be cool. And I never considered getting the, I guess, the UCS kind of version one. I don't know if it's a UCS necessarily, but it is like the larger scale build, which is a huge, I think almost $200 set. But the smaller, the Speed Champions one just looks perfect. The car, to me, even looks better in that smaller model. And of course, you get the same two minifigures. So that just seems like best in terms of budget and everything else. All right, interesting. Okay, putting these what would also be kind of Lego or our Lego castle pieces. I have these bottom tall slope pieces for the yellow Lego castle, a set back from the 1980s. And now they're going into this Harry Potter set, but facing inward. Interesting. So this build is just so cool. I like all the elements that go into this, and I'll have to, as Mayo asked if I had other versions of these or other Harry Potter sets. I'll have to pull out that little hospital wing build. I think my kids might have built that one. I'll have to see. And yeah, see if that one, I don't know if that has pin connectors or not. That'd be fun to see if that connected to this overall build itself. I don't know if it advertises or not. So that would be a 763 series. These are the 759 series. And then as I was saying earlier, if this is any interest, these sets are great alternatives to modular builds, and even better, you can buy these sets on Bricklink, and the price range is like from $30 to $45. So these sets were originally like in the $100 range, and now, way less than half the price. So if you are looking for a larger scale build, say you're interested in, you've gotten back into Lego, you like the model building, you don't want the kind of the toy version of Lego, but you want something obviously a lot more challenging of a build, a lot more detail, and some very cool, some very cool minifigures to go along with it, and like all those cool torsos and hair pieces and everything, then gosh, it's you can't go wrong with these 759 numbered series Harry Potter builds. Go to Bricklink and see what I mean. For $45, very cool. And then they all connect together, which is even more fun. And you are getting a huge modular type structure of the Hogwarts castle itself. So another fun discovery. I was thinking that they were just some more stickers, but very cool sticker piece design I'm gonna put into this rounded part of the build. And seeing that these were great sets to just try and get used for the regular price, that like the price had not increased. So I was thinking it's a good investment anyway. But now that you look on Bricklink and it's even cheaper than that, these are one of the best ways to get back into Lego building. If you're at that stage, you're like, I need to come out of the dark ages, is what I've heard the term called, where you liked Lego building as a young person, as a kid, and then you got back into it, and now you're like, all right, time to rediscover how fun that was, all that creative side, or just that joy of building in general. So this is turning out to be, this prefect bathroom is turning out to be very fun build. You got all the color, especially the design elements with the water fountain down there, or I guess the high-end luxury, maybe that's a bathtub. And then the sticker design to almost look like cloisters in a Gothic building. And then you can start to see the rounded part of the turret or the tower, which if I look on the picture now, I can tell it's this section right here. So putting this together is super fun, and this is where the brick therapy part is just becoming just an absolute joy. I'm really liking this build, and this is only bag 2, and there are 6 bags total, so I get to share more of this with you guys if you're interested in this build. Obviously, just having you guys here in the chat is really cool. especially when we are talking to folks throughout the hemispheres, going as far as Australia or to the East Coast of the United States. So great having you guys here in the build. The Hans. Hey Hans, welcome back. Where do you buy your Legos? So there's a couple versions. Probably the most obvious one. Hey Rafsan, welcome back also. How are you? Good to see you guys. For new sets that are just on the larger scale, like really big sets that, you know, and Lego does this quite often. They become very prolific. They make a lot of these big sets that you're gonna want. So if it's like, for example, the Lord of the Rings sets, those are, or that's a theme that has been relaunched, re-released over the last couple of years. When it comes to sets like that, I will buy those from Lego directly. And for a few reasons. Retail price at Lego can be more expensive, but not always. And one of the key advantages to buying directly from Lego, and they created these incentives, which are really good. You join the Lego Insiders Club. It used to be called Lego VIP, and that's free to do. You just, enter your email, and every time you buy a Lego set, you get points. Pretty much like a lot of consumer based companies do this. Restaurants do it all the time. You earn points, and then you can use those points later on to get a discount. So Lego does the same thing. So yeah, it's good for insider points. And of course, when you buy from Lego, they have promotions going quite often called gift with purchases. So basically you get an extra bonus Lego set from Lego. So I like to double up on those things. Insider points, and then an extra free gift with purchase Lego set that sometimes turn out to be, or a lot of times turn out to be, great compliments to the set you're buying. Probably the most recent version of that would be the Creel House or the Goonies pirate ship. Two gift with purchases that went exactly with the theme. And I think a lot of people enjoyed those gift with purchases because they are a nice complement to the build. When it comes to discounted sets, when I got back into Lego, this was 2018 with my son. I also bought a lot of Lego secondhand, found a lot of discounted deals, kind of like the idea from Bricklink, where you buy from private sellers, and then you can find sets for, usually in perfect condition, because some people buy a Lego set, they build it, and then they don't really have any interest in it anymore, and they'll sell it, and they just want to get rid of it. They want to offload it. And so some people are savvy to the price. They know they can probably do an upcharge on sets, but a lot of people are like, I got my use out of it, and so it's worth a little bit of a discount. So I'd find sets used on different apps. Over in Spain, there was one called Wallapop. I think we have that app over here. I don't know how many people use it, or if it's even in use anymore. It was, during that time. So I would find sets that way, quite a few sets, or sets I missed out on, or gift with purchases that I missed out on. I always found those at like probably the $15 range versus how Lego prices things at maybe $20 or $25 range. So that was cool. And then of course the usual Amazon or Walmart. Every once in a while in Spain, especially, Amazon, has its used or sets that are bought new but returned, and you'd get a pretty good discount. I think Amazon US does it here sometimes too. Get a pretty good discount on sets that way. Also, maybe 20% off the price at times. So there was a time where I did that a lot. I would look for small sets that way for my kids and find sets at a lot a lot less than the retail price. And that's kind of, yeah. So basically Lego.com for the most part, because I want those insider points to stack up and get a gift with purchase. And now I've kind of been just hyper focused on large scale sets like the modulars, like something like the Daily Bugle there, and getting sets, just maybe 1 or 2 sets, and that's it. So yeah, there's a variety of ways. Buying from private sellers is a good advantage. You just got to make sure you're getting what is advertised. So yeah, good question. Hans says, I would love to be here more, but I got to go to school. Thanks for being here, Hans. Appreciate it. Mayo says, I'll send hug emojis to people in DMs. Oh, that's cool, Mayo. That's cool. Tanner says, I don't have any social media platforms. We can send you hug emojis right now, Tanner, through the chat, I think. Where are they? Let me find the hug emoji. Got all these little creature things here. So how about this one? It's kind of like I don't know what that is. It looks like a Hello Kitty stuffed animal thing. There you go, man. Oh, there we go. Tommy gave you one too. All right, so cool. I love our community here. 20 likes. Let's go. I'm gonna do some heart emojis for that one. So bag 2 is coming to. Oh wait, gotta put on a couple more sticker pieces. These interior pieces are a little more challenging because these have to fit inside the brick, and there's like a like a little bit of a lip there, so it's hard to get them in there straight. And then of course it's like a dark color on a dark color, so it's hard to tell if it's flush with the side or not, but sometimes it works out okay. So there we go. Got looks like a bookshelf sticker. And again, now knowing that these sets, if you are curious about these Harry Potter sets, the 759 series of Harry Potter sets, these are builds you can find on Bricklink for like half the price they originally were. Used, but even new ones were like in the $40 range. And I'm thinking these are great builds because you end up doing quality looking interior builds like this that to me rival what you would do in one of those more expensive modular sets. So keep that in mind if you are someone who want to add to your Lego collection. You can't go wrong with at least just these four sets alone. The Whomping Willow, I looked up the Astronomy Tower and the Clock Tower. They're all in that $40 range or so. $35 to $40 range, maybe 50, I guess, if it's someone, depends on what country you're looking at. But I looked at the US, and I know the price range I was looking at was all US. So even the one I saw in Australia was the American dollar, $45 price range. Let's see here. And more bookshelf stickers because it has to be symmetrical. And the only set I didn't look up, which is the one that has, I think, the most, it does have the most interior detail, but which looks amazing when you build it up, is the Great Hall. It's kind of the, almost like a cathedral look on the inside. I don't know. That one might be, well, I could look it up on Bricklink just out of curiosity. How much is the Harry Potter Great Hall set? This would be, actually, I'll just type it in. I'm sure it will be found in the general search here. But yeah, all these set, I gotta type in the set number. That wasn't specific enough. But yeah, fun builds. So the Great Hall set I'm talking about is 75954. And that was the first one I think that might have been released for these sets. But yeah, even that one, well, let's see, condition. That's weird, it's not giving me the complete or incomplete? I gotta find the actual build. The build itself, the set, not the piece count. But yeah, I think these sets are worth a look at if you are considering a series of builds to add to your collection. I think these won't disappoint. So let's see here. The full build. Why can't it give me the full set? Anyway, it looks like $50. So yeah, even the Great Hall set, $50. And you know what? I'll do, I guess, a little bit of commercial endorsement for that, just talking about those sets in general. So thanks for being here and the 20 likes, guys. The goal has been reached, I guess. Actually, no one set a goal. B Bandits is the one who usually sets a goal for likes. And we got the 20 likes without the commentary, which is super cool. I'll take that. Trying to get those channel hours up to eventually the 4,000 hour watch range, which for smaller channels like ours is always, can sometimes be a challenge. Oh, looks like I did not, oops, there we go. This might be easy. Looks like I skipped on the brick color, or no, maybe not. That one's correct, but I need a gold brick color and I used the wrong color. How did that happen? So, all right, there we go. Bag 2. Got the correct, oh man, it's slow me down with the sticker sections. All right, I think that's good for now. So there we go, bag 2, all but finished. I just have to put on the spire piece. So I'll just do that real quick. It does have a couple of small builds, but I'm gonna say that is, oh, and of course, there we go. There we go. So there's the outside part. I just have to add like one more slow piece here and a couple of covered pieces here and one more small build. There you go. Bag 2 and bag 1. I think that's, what is that? You guys can tell me. It almost looks like a carnival type ride. But thanks guys for joining the live stream. Really appreciate it. And thanks again for being here. Tommy, Alexandria, Tanner, all you guys, Mayo, of course. Good to see you guys. Thanks for sharing the love, the Hans, and meeting or saying hello to Rafsan again, Owen, and let's see, and meeting Dare earlier in the live stream. Thanks for being here, guys, and hope to see you in the next one. Have a good one. And John Powell, there he is.